Welcome everyone. Here we are at day 8 of our New Year, New Career Challenge. And today's activity, we will explore some of the advanced things that you can do with My Career Design Studio. So let's start by taking a step back and looking at the big picture. If you do any serious research on effective job search strategies, and you talk to hiring managers, recruiters, and academics, there are a few things that will stand out to you. Number one is that a large majority of jobs that are filled are never posted. It's hard to know the exact number, but some of the research I've read estimates that 70% of jobs are filled in ways other than advertising for them. This is what's known as a hidden job market. And you've probably gotten a job or two this way without even really thinking about it. These are the jobs that are filled by internal hires or people in the professional and social networks of the organization's employees. So just think about this for a moment. Hiring managers who are basically just supervisors trying to fill a vacancy on their team are already understaffed and overworked, as are their teams. The job search process is lengthy and expensive, with very few guarantees that the person you're going to hire is going to work out. You simply can't tell how a person is going to fit on a team no matter the strengths of their resume or the length of the interview process. So if one of your star employees says, "I think so-and-so would do a good job," you're going to listen to that person. They might save you a lot of time and be a much better judge of the potential success than you would have by talking to a stranger. And even if you go through the whole advertising gambit, if someone you know says, I know so-and-so and they applied and I think that you should bring them in for an interview, that application is going to go into the yes pile, even if they're better qualified candidates. Referrals make that much of a difference. So My Career Design Studio has reverse engineered this process to set you up for success. And this is my very professional cat who is going to make some comments on occasion. Oh, he does not want to be on screen. He's like, just pet me. So hopefully it won't be too distracting. But I just want to let you know that in case you see some cat ears floating around, that's who we're talking about here. So, all right, let me get back on track. And so, all right, so My Career Design Studio, we reverse engineer the process so that you can use the most effective job search strategy that there is. So even though it feels slow to start with understanding your strengths instead of diving into your resume, you'll soon experience the power of the process. Every step builds on a previous one. If you don't know what you want to do, how can you ask someone to help you find a job? If you haven't researched organizations that you want to work for, how would you know if you'd want to work there or not? And if you never talk to people who work at those organizations, how can they recommend you for a job? And how do you find those people, organizations, and people at those organizations? This is where LinkedIn and My Career Design Studio come together. So LinkedIn is often seen as a professional networking site where you connect with old colleagues and hope that a recruiter will stumble on your profile and offer you a job. So you put up a profile, connect with a bunch of people, maybe read an article or two, and then spend much of your time on sites that are a lot more fun. LinkedIn's a little boring. But LinkedIn is so much more than a professional networking site. It is, in a nutshell, the biggest, most comprehensive database of people, organizations, and potential career paths that the world has ever seen. All in one place. And for free. Well, as long as you use it strategically. So there's nothing that I'm going to show you show you here, that you will have to pay for. And although LinkedIn changes all the time, the basics won't. So I'm going to get my cat off my lap so I can take advantage of my keyboard. And so what I want to do is show you the situation of someone who I recently talked to, volunteering in the Peace Corps right now, about to finish his master's in urban planning, and wanting to figure out what to do next. So here's how LinkedIn can help him. And to translate this for your situation, all you have to do is change the search terms. So let's go to LinkedIn. What I would recommend for him to do is, once LinkedIn shows up, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. All right. And then you get to the search bar. And then you put in urban planning. Okay, so what we are looking for is to see if urban planning jobs are what he really wants to do. And in order to do that, he needs to talk to people who are doing urban planning. So LinkedIn can help him find people that are probably going to be responsive to him. And so what we want to do is first look at people. And so there's over 1 million people on LinkedIn who have urban planning somewhere in their profile. So let's narrow it down a little bit. So some of the cool things that you can do is narrow it down by locations. So Washington, D.C. is here. So if we click on that, then we get 28,000 people who are in the D.C. area. Let's also include New York, because why not? And if there's something on another place that you'd be interested in that's not on here, you can just add it. So let's just add the greater Seattle area, just for fun. Now, one of the things that I recommend for this person that I talked to is to talk to other people who have worked at in Peace Corps, because they're generally going to be volunteers, and so that's one of the things to think about. Is there something that you have, a past profession, that you can include in the search that will help you find people who would be more willing to talk to you? So so think in terms of organizations like the Peace Corps, or even your university, your school. And we'll look at how to best do that in just a moment. But okay, so the people in these areas who have urban planning somewhere in their profile, and who have some kind of connection with Peace Corps, we've got 1,000 people. So that's a lot. You're going to find someone who's going to talk to you in that 1,000. So, but let's also see what are some of the things that you can find by looking at people's profiles. So let's just take a look at Rich here. So he actually is the Vice President of New Program Development. So say you see this profile, you read this, and you're like, hey, this actually sounds like something that I would want to do. Then you have got someone's career path, the stepping stones, the different places that he's worked at. You might be able to find organizations that you've never thought about before, the Inter-American Development Bank, Here's what he did at Peace Corps. And he also worked at CHIP of Virginia. So, so if you see a job title that's interesting to you, search for that job title and see how people got there. See what the stepping stones were. And then what you can do, if you realize, yeah, I would really like to talk to this guy, then, so let's just copy his name here and go to My Career Design Studio to the Finding Design Partners. So design partners are what My Career Design Studio basically terms your network, people who can help you. And so, so we'll just add Rich here. His current job title is Vice President, New Program Development. And then we go to Japaigo. I don't really need to see you, but you can look at those organizations that he works for and learn more about them. So actually, let's look at Japaigo. What's going on with them? Nonprofit organization, and you've got their recent updates. If this is an organization you're interested in, you can follow them. Sometimes they'll put job postings here. Often they will give you their link right here, so you can click and go to their website. But okay, so he is VP New Biz Dev. You don't have to be all that. I keep forgetting how to pronounce this because it's such a crazy acronym. JHP, of course, JHP. Geo, phone, NA, email, NA, LinkedIn. We've got a LinkedIn address, so we're going to add that so we can go back to it. And then we can add a little note like added January 18th. And then he becomes a part of your database. And you can add more notes, and once you find an email address, phone number, you can add all of that stuff too. So now if we want to connect with him either through LinkedIn or other ways, let me show you a cute little trick. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to get this little interest box. And what I want you to do is click on See All. And then go to Groups. And I happen to be a member of a similar group, the Society for, or the same group actually, it's not similar, it's the same. So if you're a member of the same group, then there's something really cool that you can do. You can send them a LinkedIn email without paying for premium. So generally you have to be connected to someone before you can send an email, but this way, if you go, you'll notice that Society for International Development has over 18,000 members. You'll also notice that this is a hot link. So click on that. And then you've got a list of all of the members. You want to find a member. Let's search for Rich Lamporte. So you will notice that here is his name and gives a little profile. Message him, or you could click this little button right here and also message him. And My Career Design Studio, let's take a peek right here, has an activity called Planning Partner Building Conversations. So if you want to reach out to him, here's how you can plan the things that you can say to him. But there is something else that I wanted you to take a look at. Is it under Finding Design Partners? No, it is not. Finding Design Partners Part 2. And then we go to my approach to potential partners. So my cat definitely agrees that my approach to potential partners is the way to go. Basically, this is just a couple of examples of how you can write your LinkedIn or other email approach to someone that you want to talk to. And so when you're ready to message Rich, you can copy and paste something that you've written here, or basically use one of these samples and modify it. Put that in here, send it off to him, and see what happens. Okay, so we have looked at groups, we have looked at people, we have looked at organizations. I want to then take a look at the alumni feature. So what you can do is just enter in your university. It actually works for any university. You can put in, Harvard. You can find all the alumni that are on LinkedIn that went to Harvard. But if you want to connect with someone that you've got a similar, that you come from the same, you've got the same alma mater, then you go to that university and click on See Alumni. Then, okay, so University of Maryland, College Park. Over 250,000 alumni. And here's where things are kind of cool. You've got all these different search criteria that you can narrow things down. So I just want the people in the Washington, D.C. area, for example. And you can show more, and you can see if there's anything specific here. But urban planning's not here. So let's just put in urban planning. And you've got 2,000 alumni with urban planning in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And if you scroll down, here you go. You can see them. You can see if you've got any connections in common. And you can click on these different profiles. And so urban planning and design, Mark Depo. I do not know who Mark is, but where is he? He works in Loudoun County. He also did some consulting and worked for Frederick County. So again, you're able to see what different people do, and see if they might be someone who's worth talking to, or get some ideas of where you might find a job afterwards, or basically see if that kind of career path is something that you're interested in doing. Okay. So that is basically the overview of how LinkedIn and My Career Design Studio can help you do some additional research so that you can answer some of your questions, you can build your community, find your design partners, and really set yourself up to find that hidden job market, to find those people who are going to advocate for you. You can't grow the way that you deserve to grow without talking to people. And both LinkedIn and My Career Design Studio makes that easier than it's ever been before. So go exploring, go figure out how this is going to work for you, have fun doing it, and again, take advantage of My Career Design Studio and LinkedIn. Again, my cat, totally on board with all of this, and have fun. Sign up for My Career Design Studio at careerdesign.studio if you haven't done so yet, and I look forward to talking with you.